Your practice does not belong to any one type, because it is a combination of physical training and chi refining. This is also the special point of Emperor's divine art. Gu Lao replied with a chuckle. Cultivation at the same time? Guan Ming was shocked and made a guess. Then if I meet a cultivator of the same level, wouldn't I be able to torture him directly? That's right, the first stage of a monk who majors in body training is the body training stage, and the main stage of chi training is the chi refining stage, and you are now entering the broken mirror stage, which is the realm of the combination of the two. Imagine, if you meet a monk of the same level, and the opponent is a body forging monk. You fight with him in close combat. You are of the same physical body, but the destructive power produced by chi refining is difficult for the opponent to withstand. But if you meet a monk in the chi refining stage, you can resist hard. If he attacks back, how will his opponent be able to fight back? Mr. Gu continued to explain. Besides that, there is another huge advantage of the broken mirror stage. All monks must reach the peak level to break through the barrier. But in the broken mirror stage, you only need to exercise your body and refine your chi to reach the same level. Go straight to the next level. Lao Gu, according to what you said, as long as I reach the first level of physical training, I can directly step into the second level of broken mirror? Guan Ming asked excitedly. Teachable kid, you have now entered the first level of chi refining, and your physical body is relatively weak. The medicinal bath you are taking now is to increase the body's defense. Starting from tomorrow, you must also temper your body. Finally, the best way is to do weight-bearing exercise. You can buy 300 pounds of steel and tie it to your body and run for an hour every day. Guan Ming was really frightened by what Gu Lao said. What is the concept of 300 kilograms? Although Guan Ming's strength is not light, it would be strange if he didn't become paralyzed from exhaustion if he had to carry a weight of 300 kilograms and run for an hour. And since he was tempering his body, he definitely couldn't use his true energy to assist. He just used his body to support the 300 kilograms of gravity. Well, I understand. Despite this, Guan Ming became excited. As long as he could improve his strength, 300 kilograms was nothing. 3 hours passed unknowingly, and the water in the bathtub became a little black. Gu Lao explained that this was because of the impurities excreted from Guan Ming's body. Today's medicinal bath practice ended here, and Guan Ming simply took a shower. After taking a bath, I came out of the bathroom. Lin Feng was still playing on the computer in bed as usual. When he saw Guan Ming coming out, he immediately smiled with an ambiguous expression on his face. Brother Ming, you are really persistent. I have enough listening to your screams of ecstasy outside. Guan Ming blushed. The medicinal bath was so comfortable that he couldn't help but make a sound. Ahem, let's play with your computer. He replied nonchalantly. Guan Ming lay on the bed and considered the issue of steel, and finally settled on Ding Hong. As the eldest sister of the Hong society, this little thing will certainly not trouble her. Madman, help me check Ding Hong's number? Guan Ming turned to Lin Feng and said. Lin Feng was obviously stunned for a moment. Brother Ming, isn't Ding Hong your wife? You don't even have her number? I just changed my phone and lost my number. Guan Ming hesitated. Lin Feng was dubious and didn't ask any more questions. He quickly found out Ding Hong's number and gave it to Guan Ming. Guan Ming checked the time and decided to call again tomorrow morning. Call over. The next day. Ding Hong was sleeping soundly when the ringing of the phone woke her up. She touched the phone and answered the call and roared, "Who is it? You disturbed my sleep so early in the morning. I will give you 3 seconds to explain, or I will chop you to death." Guan Ming was sweating profusely. This girl was really not an ordinary violent person. Daughter-in-law, do you want to be a widow so early? Guan Ming? Ding Hong was startled and asked uncertainly. Besides your husband and me? Who else? Guan Ming chuckled. You bastard, go be the husband of a sow. Ding Hong scolded angrily, but at the same time, she felt sweet. She didn't expect that Guan Ming cared so much about her and actually got her number. Daughter-in-law, if you call yourself a sow so early in the morning, you will really turn into a sow in the future. Guan Ming answered seriously. Why don't you die? Tell me, what are you doing to me? It's like this. I want to ask you for a favor. Use steel to make a pair of leggings, hands, and a piece for the stomach and back. It should be able to stick to the body and weigh 300 kilograms. Oh, you want to transform into Iron Man? Ding Hong was amused by this strange request. I have my uses. I believe this will not be a problem for your eldest sister. When do you need it? It's best if you can send it to me at night. Okay, I get it. By the way, wifey, how are you recovering? Get lost. Ding Hong roared and hung up the phone. Guan Ming couldn't help but be confused. Why is it so difficult to care about someone these days? Ding Hong sat on the bed and thought for a few minutes, but still didn't understand why Guan Ming wanted to be Iron Man. He simply gave up and said to himself, why should I help you? There was paper and pen nearby. Ding Hong took them over and started drawing. According to the length of Guan Ming's joints and considering comfort, he finally decided on the weight of each piece. The total weight of each piece was exactly 300 kilograms. Monkey, come in here. Ding Hong shouted, and immediately a man ran in from outside in a panic. He looked like he had just woken up and wiped the saliva from his mouth. Sister, what do you have? Order? Type things out according to this design drawing, and then send it to Guan Ming. The monkey took the design and glanced at it and was stunned. Damn it, I'm going to transform into Iron Man, 300 pounds, eldest sister, brother-in-law is not a steel cheat, right? There's so much nonsense, hurry up and do it. If you don't do it tonight, I'll castrate you. Ding Hong threw a pillow at him, and the monkey felt a cool breeze blowing from below, and he clamped his legs in fear. Big brother-in-law, you don't love me anymore when you have a eldest brother-in-law. I'm going to love you now. Ding Hong clenched her fists and made a crackling sound. The monkey was so frightened that it turned around and ran away at a speed comparable to that of a real monkey. When Guan Ming came to the classroom, Lu Tao still ignored him. Guan Ming did not explain himself. He believed that if Lu Tao really cared about his brother, he would definitely understand. The course was as boring as ever. Guan Ming had no interest in listening at all. He leaned on the table and asked Mr. Gu about some cultivation matters until Lu Tao next to him gave him a push. Seeing Guan Ming looking at him, Lu Tao asked, Guan Ming, what's going on between you and Yuan Pero? Yesterday I asked her, but she kept crying and didn't say anything. You want to know, $200. You and money were born together, damn it. Lu Tao cursed. Knowing Guan Ming's character, he could only take out 200 yuan, but Guan Ming happily took it. Boss Lu is the boss. After accepting the money, Guan Ming leaned back on the table again. You've got to say it. Lu Tao was anxious. You just told me you wanted to know and didn't let me tell you? Guan Ming touched his head and asked suspiciously. You? Lu Tao tried his best to hold back his anger and took out 200 again. Guan Ming's expression of wanting to be beaten made his teeth itch. Do you remember what I said to you in the cafeteria? Guan Ming's face suddenly darkened. Lu Tao also felt that things seemed not that simple, but what Guan Ming said yesterday was really hard for him to accept. You said you almost died at the hands of Yuan Peru. Guan Ming briefly talked about Yuan Peru's appointment with him at Phoenix Bridge. Lu Tao's eyes suddenly widened. You two actually went there to have sex. Yuan Pero couldn't have accidentally ruined you. Seeing Lu Tao staring at his lower body, Guan Ming knew that this boring man was thinking wrong again. There was a car accident before the Phoenix Bridge, which opened a gap. When I got there, Yuan Peru told me to turn back. I was hit by a car and fell into the river. If I hadn't been lucky, I would have died. Even if I was killed. Being kicked out by the Guan family was not as heartbreaking as being betrayed by Yuan Peru. Until now, it is difficult for Guan Ming to accept this. You mean that Tang Lei found Yuan Peru and invited you to the Phoenix Bridge to kill you? Lu Tao frowned, feeling that something was wrong. How else can we explain it? Guan Ming, But you never saw Yuan Paru, you just received a call from her. Haven't you ever thought that someone else deliberately framed her? And, if it was really Tang Lei who did it, why did he humiliate Yuan Paru in the cafeteria again? Isn't this a contradiction? Lu Tao analyzed with a frown. I also hope so. I went to the hospital yesterday. Yuan Paru's grandma had already completed the operation. The total cost of the operation and the medical expenses she owed before was more than 50,000 yuan. Why did Yuan Paru suddenly have this money, and it was too late? It's too much of a coincidence. Guan Ming sneered. But I always feel that something is wrong. Yuan Paru is so kind, why would she kill you with Tang Lei just for that money? Grandma is her only relative, and I am just a stranger who suddenly appears. If you choose one between me and Grandma, if it were you, who would you choose? Guan Ming's rhetorical question left Lu Tao speechless. Jean, there must be some misunderstanding here. Let's ask Yuan Paru to come out and explain it clearly. You are too arbitrary. What if it is a misunderstanding? Lu Tao advised. No, I don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. I'm not very good now. All the school beauties like me, huh? Guan Ming smiled, but his smile looked very forced. Lu Tao was silent. He knew that he could not persuade Guan Ming, and Guan Ming was right. Between relatives and friends, it is always friends who are sacrificed. However, Lu Tao always felt that something was wrong. Tang Lei's attitude towards Yuan Paru was too strange. I know. Lu Tao stopped the topic promptly, and added a reminder at the end, you should pay attention to Yi Gaochang. This person has a small belly and chicken intestines. He suffered a loss at your hands last time. He will definitely not let it go. What's more, he has a small belly. You also stole the person he liked. He's just Yi Gaochang, and he hasn't been taken seriously by me yet. With Guan Ming's current status as a cultivator, isn't he just a young man on campus? Even if 10 of them came, they would still torture him to pieces. It would be better if Yi Gaochang didn't come after him. Once he really made himself angry, he would definitely give him an unforgettable lesson. Lu Tao couldn't help but be speechless. He didn't know where Guan Ming got his confidence. If he knew Guan Ming's current strength, maybe he wouldn't be surprised. After a conversation, the two completely settled their differences. During lunch, Guan Ming specially called Lin Feng to let them get to know each other. The three of them were joking, and Lin Feng suddenly turned Guan Ming with his arm. Brother Ming, is your little wife here? What little daughter-in-law? Lu Tao was confused when he heard this. He turned around and saw Shiwaner and Tan Lulu walking towards them. Guan Ming, I have something to tell you. Shiwaner directly explained the purpose of her visit. As long as we don't break up, we can talk about anything. Guan Ming's words almost made Lu Tao and Lin Feng almost complain. There are too many people here, let's go upstairs to talk. Shiwaner continued. Well, okay, but I have no money and I don't have enough to eat. It's your treat when we get to the second floor. Guan Ming agreed, stood up and left with the two women, leaving Lu Tao with a gossipy face behind him. Madman, in the end what's going on? There must be something behind it. It's like this. Brother Ming also has a wife outside, who is the eldest sister of Hong Shi. Their heads were pressed together. Upstairs is an independent restaurant, which is extremely expensive. This is the first time that Guan Ming has been here for more than a month since he entered school. The decoration here is no worse than that of a 5-star hotel. There is a waiter at the door to greet him. Shiwaner asked for a private room. When he arrived at the private room, Guan Ming ordered a bunch of meat. Shiwaner was not short of money anyway. After the waiter left, Shiwaner finally spoke. Guan Ming. Wait, premise, as long as you don't fire me, we can talk about anything. Guan Ming blocked Shiwaner's words first. Now he needs a large amount of money to take medicinal baths every day. Although Shiwaner only has 100,000 yuan here, it is still a lot of money. Money for auxiliary medicinal materials. Shiwaner's eyes flashed with pride, and she knew that this guy was greedy for money, and he would not be able to control him tightly from now on. She calmly took out 2 pieces of paper from her bag and handed them to Guan Ming. Shiwaner said, "You are my shield now. There are some things we have to make clear in advance. This is a contract. If you see if there is any problem, sign and fingerprint it." Shiwaner has even prepared the ink pad. Guan Ming glanced briefly. He was on 24 hours a day and was available at any time. He was not allowed to disobey Shiwaner's words, and was not allowed to flirt with women. During his tenure, he was not allowed to have sex with other girls, let alone be with other girls. The reasons and a series of detailed explanations are also noted at the back. This is simply a contract to sell yourself. I'll sign it for 100,000 yuan. I won't do it. Guan Ming refused wisely, and the look on Shiwaner's face just now clearly had some purpose. If he really signed the contract, wouldn't he be controlled tightly by Shiwaner and have a happy life of sex as promised? Then make a price for how much you want. Shiwaner was very calm. Money has always been just a quantity to her. 128,000 a day, otherwise I won't do it. 128,000 is exactly the price of the medicinal materials Guan Ming needs for 1 day's practice. Big pervert, you're not afraid of being stretched to death. Tan Lulu said sarcastically. Sister, this is a contract of prostitution. A handsome guy like me, who is loved by everyone, has flowers blooming, and is popular with thousands of beautiful girls. You will make a lot of money in a day of 128,000 yuan, not to mention that I still make a lot of money. To face so many troubles, of course, we have to declare in advance that I will not sleep with you, Guan Ming said righteously. The 2 women rolled their eyes at the same time, and Tan Lulu snorted and said, I think you are the most invincible and shameless person in the universe. Who else wants you to sleep with me? You will even sleep with me. Beauty, I'm not saying too much. Maybe one of you will be lonely and want me to sleep with you? But I'm a good person. As long as you give me more benefits, I will consider it carefully. Guan Ming chuckled. In fact, when Shiwaner took out the contract, Guan Ming realized that Shiwaner would not fire him, but would keep him. The conditions were not arbitrary. If he didn't open his mouth at this time, he would be kicked in the head by a donkey. Okay, I promise you. Shiwaner said. If you really want me to sleep with you, we have to discuss the price again. Guan Ming rubbed his hands excitedly. Bah, who asked you to sleep with me? Shiwaner blushed. Sister Waner, you can't agree to the big pervert, he did it on purpose. Tan Lulu objected. How many beautiful young women have wanted to keep me, but I have always rejected them. I am a serious person, how could it be intentional? Guan Ming answered seriously. Shameless. The 2 women said in unison, once again witnessing Guan Ming's shamelessness. Then do you want to support me? Guan Ming asked. Shiwaner rolled her eyes at Guan Ming and said, I can promise you, but I have to add one more thing. If you can't do any of the above, 200,000 will be deducted each time. Okay, then I also have a requirement, wages must be paid daily. Okay. Shiwaner agreed readily, and Tan Lulu's objection was useless. The contract was presented in 2 copies. After signing and fingerprinting, each party held 1 copy. Guan Ming happily kept the contract and no longer had to worry about not having money for medicinal materials. Happiness comes so fast, like a tornado. It can't escape without the money circle. Guan Ming couldn't help but sing, and a bunch of keys were thrown in front of him. If it comes with a car, I won't be polite. The car key is the latest model of Porsche, with a market price of more than 2 million. From today onwards, you will send me and Lulu home, and pick us up on time at 8 o'clock every day from now on. Shiwaner showed a successful smile and took out another piece of paper from her bag. This is the class transfer certificate. Come to our class starting tomorrow. Guan Ming's hands froze. You city people are really good at playing. Do you think I, who came from the countryside, can drive? 200,000. Is it okay if I don't change classes? Guan Ming didn't want to see you on paro, let alone being in the same class. 400,000. Auntie, how can I resign? Guan Ming was distressed for a moment, feeling like he had fallen into a huge pit. Okay. Shi Weiner smiled and nodded. Guan Ming was delighted. This girl is so easy to talk to. Who would have thought that? Shi Weiner continued, with a monthly salary of 3,000, you just need to pretend to be my boyfriend and help me keep out of trouble. You don't need to do the rest. It's easy enough and the conditions are generous enough. You're cruel. Guan Ming almost squeezed these 3 words out from between his teeth. Well, I was deducted 400,000 yuan on the first day, TSK. Shi Weiner was smiling happily at the moment. Auntie, can I drive if I know how to drive? Isn't it okay if I change my shift? Guan Ming's face became even bitterer, but the 2 women smiled happily. Look at your potential. Mr. Gu's voice came to mind at the right time. The food ordered was quickly brought to the private room. Guan Ming had nowhere to vent, so he could only eat to satisfy his hatred, and asked the waiter to bring another one. Shi Weiner held her chin in her hand and looked at Guan Ming with a smile, without saying a word. Tan Lulu was already I couldn't sit upright with laughter. Half an hour later, looking at Guan Ming who was still eating like crazy, the eyes of the 2 women almost bulged out, because Guan Ming ordered 5 portions of the same meal before and after, which was enough for more than a dozen people, and they didn't know how much they could fill it. Where it goes. Tan Lulu patted her chest happily and said, Sister Weiner, it's a good thing you didn't include 3 meals a day, otherwise you would have been deprived by this bastard. It's too scary. Shi Weiner has never seen anyone with such a big appetite in such a long time since she was born. Guan Ming raised his greasy hand and said to the waiter who was also dumbfounded, 1 more. 2 women. When class was about to begin, Guan Ming Kai wiped his mouth and said to himself, class is about to start, let's eat here first today. Without saying hello, he left under the dumbfounded gazes of the 2 women and many waiters. Pay the bill. Shi Weiner swallowed and said to the waiter next to her. Okay, please wait a moment. The waiter recovered from the shock and immediately returned to work. Hello, miss, 1 portion costs 3,900, a total of 8 portions. Your total consumption this time is 31,000. 1,200 yuan. As soon as Guan Ming returned to the classroom, Lu Tao immediately came up to him and said, You can't see the jar. What? Guan Ming burped. You are still pretending, Ding Hong, the eldest sister of the Hong Society. Crazy people have told me, I didn't expect you to be in 2 boats. How about Shi Weiner breaking up with you? Lu Tao looked like a gossip. How is it possible? Shi Weiner cried and begged me not to leave her. Look, the car was given to me. Lu Tao looked at the Porsche car key in Guan Ming's hand and suddenly wondered, this is definitely not right. Logically speaking, I am more handsome than you. I am also the president of the Taekwondo club, but I don't even have a female ticket. Or should I say that today's beauties do you just like the soft-boiled one like you? Guan Ming. After school, Guan Ming said hello to Lu Tao and told him about the class transfer. Lu Tao suddenly dropped his head and felt heartbroken. When they arrived at the parking lot, Shi Weiner and Tan Lulu were already waiting there. After the 3 of them got in the car, Guan Ming started the Porsche and said to himself, I have only driven tractors before. Although they were all 4-wheeled, but not do you know if the difference is big? Guan Ming almost hit another car when he reversed and turned around. Shi Weiner and Tan Lulu suddenly lost their composure. Big pervert, can you drive? Of course I will. Everyone used to call me the little tractor prince. Guan Ming smiled proudly, stepped on the accelerator, and the Porsche suddenly sped out. Seeing that it was about to hit the car in front, Guan Ming turned the steering wheel quickly to avoid hitting it. But because the steering wheel did not turn back, I saw that I was about to hit another car. Ah! The 2 women had closed their eyes in despair. There was a huge swing of the car body, but there was no impact as expected. When the 2 women opened their eyes, they saw Guan Ming hurriedly turning the steering wheel, turning left and then right immediately. The Porsche drove out of the parking lot in S-type, but they were stunned. There was not a single collision. Sister Weiner, it's scary for a big pervert to drive. Tan Lulu felt that she had just been on a thrilling roller coaster. I feel like vomiting. Shiwata also kept patting her chest, while Guan Ming had stopped the car and was also patting his chest with great joy. Damn it, I thought that was the brake? I just stepped on it with one foot.